Mr. Harris meant leadership to me, and he believed in me as well as my class. I remember one time when he was in the commons of SIS at the middle school, and he was giving class of 2018 a speech about how much he believed in us and how much he knew that the rumors and everything that everyone ever said about us, like, we could prove them wrong. And he started talking about his kids and telling all the stories about his kids, and you could tell how much he really cared for them. And it was just, you could see how big his heart was and how he just wanted to lead people in the right direction. And he was just a great man overall.
Mark was really special. He had this way of connecting with people so easily, which made being a leader so natural for him. When we first met, Mark was a teacher, but he'd always had aspirations of becoming a school leader. While he was completing his master's degree in educational leadership at Cardinal Stritch University, he earned the attention of one of his professors, who was a superintendent in Racine. He basically offered him a job before Mark had even completed the program.
He kind of just showed us that African Americans like me could do good and leave an impact on so many different people. Because when he was gone, even though we only knew him for such a short time, it was a really big deal to us. And I think because that connection he made with us, how relatable he was. I remember one time in 7th grade, he played basketball with us, and he came in with a walkie-talkie and all that, and we thought it was gonna get real serious, but he came, grabbed a basketball, started shooting with us, and it was just a fun day at lunch for recess, so it was just a good time.
When I came to Shorewood, Mr. Harris was a big support system to me. He was a father figure. He was someone I could rely on when I had difficulties in high school.
Mark's first job as a principal was at Gilmore Middle School in Racine. It was there that he gained significant experience and made some really special connections. But the long commute was really hard on us as a family. So when a job opportunity came up at Shorewood High School, which was just a few blocks from our home, Mark told me that he thought it was meant to be.
Mr. Harris to me was more than just a vice principal. He was someone that I could look up to. I could go to with anything. He was inspiring. He would give you real life lessons that you could use every day, day in and day out. He would talk to you like you mattered. He gave you structure that you may not have had elsewhere. And he made you feel like you could do something in your life.
I knew this was a highly coveted job. It's a really great school district. But I also truly believed in my heart that despite the fact that Mark had only had a year and a half of experience, if he got an interview, he'd get the job. Mark always dazzled under pressure. And he did.
Mr. Harris meant a lot to me on a personal level. He was obviously your administrative figure, but he was also really a family member, a person that I could bounce a lot of ideas off of. I felt safe going to his office and just getting to know Mr. Harris on a different level.
On the day our daughter Lucia was born, Mark signed his contract to be the assistant principal at Shorewood High School. He served in that role for 4 years. And then in 2013, when Mark earned the job as the directing principal at Shorewood Intermediate School, he told me, "Erin, I just landed my dream job." And it was. And he would have been there forever. But on October 21st, 2014, our lives changed in an instant. It was just a normal day until the tragic accident which caused Mark to stop breathing. His brain was without oxygen for too long, and after being taken to the hospital and kept on life support, it was determined that there was no brain activity. Somehow, amidst the most devastating moments of my life, I managed to find hope and solace in the fact that Mark could save lives through organ donation. Through his death, Mark gave the gift of life. He saved 4 lives and impacted as many as 50 others through his donations. Looking back now, it's no surprise to me at all that even in death, Mark touched so many lives, because that's what he did throughout his whole life. Mark was born to be a leader. I always knew that about him. I knew he was changing lives daily in his job. But it was after his death that I really learned about the remarkable ripple effect of his life. Mark made an impact on so many people, one story at a time. Cards and letters were flooding in, describing the way he touched lives. Stories from his childhood about how he was wildly popular, yet totally unaware of his popularity and inclusive of everyone. Stories from students recounting the times that Mark was there for them in a crucial moment. Stories from parents stating how Mark went above and beyond every day, how he visited their homes and sat on their living room couches. The common theme was that Mark truly cared. He listened. He paid attention. And because of that, there were so many people who saw Mark as their mentor or as their best friend. And that's what this program is about.
If I could say one thing to Mr. Harris today, I would just let him know that, his legacy is living on here. I hope he's proud, but just more importantly, all the hard work that he did for the Shorewood community, for the city of Milwaukee, for Marquette, it's paying off.
There's a lot of things that I would want to say to Mr. Harris today. One thing I would say to him is thank you for all of his support. He was someone that I could rely on in high school. He was here for me when I almost didn't graduate from high school when I had some mental health issues. Mr. Harris would listen to me, he would support me, he would use my story to encourage other students. I would say thank you to him for that.
If I could talk to Mr. Harris today, I would tell him that he could be proud of me. So I went to Marquette and I got into the EOP program that he introduced me to. And I just want to be the person that he was for me, for our students.
So what made Mark unique, what made him special as a colleague, as a friend, as an administrator, was his desire and his ability to put students first. No matter how difficult the situation was, no matter how challenging, to go about your work in a way that you focus on students first and ensuring that we keep every door open for each student to continue forward and have a path to success was something that was inspiring to me, and the way Mark went about his work every single day. Through the Mark Harris Fellowship Program, we're doing the work that inspired him to come to work every day. That we're doing it, that students are being provided opportunities that they otherwise may not have had, that students are being inspired to grow their passion, that students are utilizing the program and the pathways it provides to build a better future for all of us.
A lot of times when I feel down or anything, I think about talks with Mr. Harris that I had in his office, or just walking through the hallways, and how he would want me to keep pushing and all of that. So I would just say thank you and tell him we ain't no joke.
People should really support the Mark Harris Fellowship Program because it's offering students here at the Shorewood community an opportunity to get that extra mentorship, get that extra support system, that extra resource base, open a lot of doors for these students to try new things and ultimately get to college and get through college and become successful.
The support that you could give can help us push our students onto their dreams, get them through high school and into higher education.
The Mark Harris Fellowship Program carries on Mark's legacy by making a difference, one dream at a time.